Remember who the fuck you are so the game can change. The podcast that is here to shake things up, to step you up, and to guide you back to your true self. I'm your host, Kira Marie, founder of Kira Marie Divinely Guided and Ascension School. I'm your spiritual BFF, energetic healer, channeler, generational and soul code activator, spiritual mentor and intuitive stylist. Here to awaken you to your gifts. This is your space for real talk, deep soul truth, and practical guidance to help you rise, transform, and remember the divine magic that you have within you already. Whether you're here to heal, grow, or simply be inspired, it is time to remember who the fuck you are. Because once you do, you'll see how the game can really change. If you're ready to remember, hit subscribe. Follow me on socials, Kira Marie Divinely Guided and Ascension School. Share this with someone who needs it, and let's rise together. This is just the beginning.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, soul family. Welcome back to Remember Who the Fuck You Are so the game can change. The podcast that is here to shake things up, to lift you up, and to speak some soul truths. So today's episode is going to be split into two. Episode 1 about embarking on my first retreat and how that came about, and the beautiful story and journey behind that. So if you have never been on a retreat before, stay tuned for my takeaways and how that came about, and the journey that I embarked on. In episode 2, we'll actually jump into when I arrive and the transformation that came with it, and my journey in Bali and Ubud and Kuta as well. So stay tuned for part 1 and then come back for part 2. Welcome back, soul family. Welcome back to my podcast, Remember Who the Fuck You Are so the game can change. Thank you for those who are returning. I really, really appreciate it, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for downloading. I really am just blown away by the response. Thank you so much. And for those who are new, welcome. Hi, I'm Kira Marie. I am so excited to have you here and to be on the journey with us. So, Bali retreat. I embarked on my first retreat last year in 2024 in October. And just the story behind that and the journey behind that actually goes back 2 years before that. So 2 years before that, in what does that make it? 2022, my husband bought me a trip to Ellie Beach in Queensland, beautiful spot, and by myself. So for those who don't know, I do have 5 kids, and they were 4 and under, which means you're like, hang on a minute, the calculations, how does that work out? We actually were very surprised with triplets. So our last baby that we were trying for ended up being naturally conceived triplets, right? So with that, I have learnt along my way, the triplets are now 10, and our oldest is 14 at the time of this recording anyway. So I've learned along the journey that I need my time. I need to just have some moment of peace. No one needing me, no one saying, Mum. For any mothers out there, you know what that means, and you know what how that feels. I love my kids and I love my role of being a mother, and me teaching them as much as they are teaching me. And I also honor myself and my journey and my peace, and know that I need to give back to me, which is another episode in itself, right? So back in 2022, my birthday's in January. Very inconvenient. It's actually 2 weeks after Christmas. And yeah, just a tough time for those who are buying presents anyway, you've got Christmas, the lead up to that, and then it's shit, it's Kira's birthday. Excuse me. So my husband struggled with remembering, and also just due to his past and growing up, he was estranged from his mother, and um, just grew up not honoring that mother role and not having that in his life, and as prevalent as most kids. And there was a disconnect there. So that in turn meant that he's having to do a lot of unlearning and relearning and awakening in a healthy mother-child relationship, and also partnership in marriage. So yeah, so it just wasn't his thing, and we've worked through that. So he got to a couple of days before my birthday and thought, oh my God, I haven't got a present again. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna do something about that. So I was very, very lucky, and he then brought me a trip to Early Beach, which is mid coast of Queensland, and we're currently at the time we lived in Victoria. So it was airfares, it was accommodation, and then I just had this calling of my soul to book a trip, book a cruise, book something while I was there. And I was going through before I left, and I was going through a couple of options, and I just wasn't sure. And so then I just left it, and I thought, that's all right, I'll be guided when I'm there. And then I was there a few days by myself. It was heaven. It was just on the beach. Even though we realized afterwards that the time that I went, was not a good time for swimming due to, I think it was jellyfish. So, but that's okay. Yeah, it was a beautiful time to reset and recenter and just give back to me. I was then guided to jump on and book a cruise out to the Great Barrier Reef, do a snorkel, and yeah, have a day out there. So I did. Finally took the plunge and booked it. Then journeyed out there for the day, sat by myself, and went swimming and went snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef, and it was a beautiful day. We're on a pontoon, so it was bottom level and then top level as well. And it was funny, I do remember that there was this little boy up the top level, and he threw something over the edge and almost hit me. And I looked up, and someone said, oh, sorry. And I'm like, no, that's okay. Like, I've got kids too, all good, doesn't matter. And I had a nudge to go up the next level, to just to check it out. And the view would have been amazing. But I didn't listen to the guidance. So then I went on my way, did what I did, and then it was time to get back on a boat. And as we were getting on, the gentleman just said, hey, we're just doing counting numbers, making sure we haven't left anyone behind. So just go in, sit anywhere, but just sit there, don't move until we've done the final count and made sure everyone's accounted for. And then after that, you can then move around. And I walked in and just noticed two ladies sitting opposite each other, and probably a few seats away from me. And then I noticed that they had family kids on the other side of them. And I thought, oh, I'll just sit here. They look like cool chicks. And they started talking between each other. And there was one lady that had a book in her hand, and she really she kept saying to the other lady, which I later learned was her sister. And she kept saying, "Oh, I just need to read my book. I really want to dive into my book." And then she would start talking again, and then read her book, and then start talking again. Anyway, one of the conversations she started talking about was women's circles, and I'm like, oh, my ears pricked up. I'm like, hang on a minute, I run women's circles too. Like, I think I need to talk to this chick. Like, that'd be cool. Next thing I know, she then pipes up and says, "Oh, how's your day been?" Like, and then we just started talking, and I'm like, "Oh, really good." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, like, I heard you talking about women's circles." She's like, "Oh, yeah, like, I run them." I said, "Oh, me too." Like, we then started chatting and realized she was spiritual, and just sparked up a conversation. We then exchanged details of socials, and I checked out her stuff, she checked out my stuff, and she saw that I was psychic medium and healer and spiritual coach as well. And she'd actually had been on a journey with a business coach and had actually finished that with her business coach and decided to end that, and decided that she actually was ready to embark on a different kind of coach and more of a spiritual coach. And then in come I. So, excuse me. So then we then talk the rest of the trip home, and then we start messaging each other, and she's like, "Oh, I'd love to like work with you, but I only work normally with people in person." I'm like, "There's a block." It's exactly the same. And just coached her through that, and then she ended up booking a service. Then she ended up booking or having a healing done, and then our friendship started evolving, and we would be talking daily or weekly, and just with the voice messages, just when we could get to them, and in our busy schedules and our busy lives, and becoming really good friends. So who I'm talking about is Lisa Everding, and she is the founder of Earthy Angels. So I'll put her details down below. So with that, yeah, she was talking about a women's retreat, and at that stage, my husband and I had decided that we'd move to Wollongong in New South Wales, which was in a different state to where we were. And it's probably about a 10-hour drive with 5 children and stops. So it was a hectic time that we were in on. And again, my Christmas rolled around, my birthday rolled around, and my husband's like, "You've been talking about Lisa's retreat. Lisa runs retreats in Bali, and you've been talking about them. How about we put some money towards that for your birthday?" And I'm like, "Oh, that would be amazing." And then doubts come in, and then that little voice in your head, or your protection ego, your protection angel, or your ego stepped in and just was like, "That's a lot of money, Kira. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, it's not just the price, it's the airfares, and it's this, and then it's spending money." And it really got me thinking and backing away. So I'd said to Lisa, "Oh, I'd love to come on your retreat." She's like, "Yep, awesome. You just need a deposit, and then you can pay it off." And then that took that block away. And then I was freaking out a bit. And then I'm like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it." So, you know what I did? I said to my angels, I said to the universe, to the divine, I said, "Right, if I'm meant to do this, if I'm meant to go on this retreat, it's got to be paid in full." It needs to be paid in full, and then I'll happily go. So um, then I left it. And I said to Lisa, like, "Hey, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I've got into October. Let me just sort some stuff out, and then I'll get back to you." Fast forward a few months, and Liz and I were just back and forth with messages, and she kept getting, I found out after, she kept getting a nudge from her guides to work with me. And I had recently said to her, I think it was the beginning of the year, hey, like, you need to stop doing stuff. You need to start implementing stuff. You need to start stepping into stuff. You need to start doing stuff rather than always needing to chase that next thing. You're always needing to learn that next thing. You need to start. You've got so much wisdom within you. You need to just start. You need to start trusting yourself. You need to start backing yourself. So she then implemented that and wasn't doing any more courses or webinars or workshops or things like that for herself and her journey. She was just digging deep and trusting in what she already knew and what was already within her. And then she kept getting a nudge from her guides. You need to work with Kira. You need to work with Kira. And she's like, but Kira said I need to, like, stop. And then I was then doing a message to her, and then all of a sudden my guides then dropped in and said, Kira, tell Lisa she needs to do my awakening program. So I run a 12-week awakening program where I awaken you to your gifts. I awaken you to your psychic, to your mediumship gifts, in connecting with your guides. I awaken you to and attune you in my generational healing to take that in whatever avenue that is in your journey. I then also awaken you and unlock within you light language. And yeah, you can then again take that wherever you need it to be and wherever it needs to go and flow. So I said to her, hey, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm getting a nudge for you to do my awakening program. I know I've said you not to do anything, but this is what they're telling me. I'm just going to leave it with you. And then unbeknownst to me, her guys have been saying the same. You need to work with Kira. You need to work with Kira. You need to work with Kira. So when I said that to her, she's like, oh, damn. She goes, my cards said the same thing. I need to work with you. So then I told her about the 12-week program and the cost involved. And she then came back to me and said, hey, I was just in meditation and my guides just said to me, offer her a trade. Trade her the 12-week awakening program with your retreat. A full swap, a paid in full. So when she came back to me and said, hey, I had an inkling that that was going to happen. And after I did it, and I said to my husband, and I said, you know what's going to happen? I said, she's going to come back and say, do you want to trade? And she did. And she said, hey, my guides have said, let's trade. And I said, God damn you, spirit. God damn you, guides. I had put all of the conditions and the roadblocks and built a wall. And my guides just kept giving me opportunities to break through that. And I had said to them clearly, I will only go if it's paid in full. So now that it was paid in full, I couldn't relinquish on my end the deal. I couldn't then go, oh, actually, no, now I want to change the conditions. So I shut up and put up. And I ran the 12-week program for Lise, which was absolutely amazing and beautiful. I pushed her and I pushed her beyond her limits of what she thought she was here to do and could do, and awakened her soul. It was absolutely a beautiful journey. And then it came my turn. So because of the work that I've done and because of I don't follow a lot of people. I am just guided by my guides and what is within me, and what is the opportunities that are brought to me. And I'm very aware and will question everything. So for me to then receive is a big thing. And I don't mean that in any egotistical way, but it is. It's a big thing for me to receive. When you're at a level where you are doing your own work, you are questioning your own beliefs, you are questioning your own reactions, when you are questioning everything that is around you and every opportunity that comes your way, every niggle, every trigger, that means you're pretty evolved. And when you have this calmness within you, when things arise and you can see it from a bigger picture, you can see it from not the emotional blackmail or abuse or triggers, you can see it from a bigger picture. You can see where the value lies and where the learning comes from and where the opportunity to heal comes from, or to let go or to walk away, head held high. And that takes work, right? So for me to receive from other healers and other light workers, like you have to have done your work, you have to have stepped up. And also I also have work to do. We all do. It is always in layers, and to be able to crack my layers because they are deep, because of the work I've done, then that takes a lot too. So I then had no excuse. I had no obstacles in my way, and I was in on my first retreat. And in that, my first retreat overseas, my first overseas trip by myself, there was a lot of firsts involved. My first yoga as well, as Lisa is a yoga teacher and has a yoga studio as well. So then come my journey of organizing everything. Normally, my husband for holidays and when we went overseas for our honeymoon, he organized everything and he took control of everything, which was amazing. And now it was my turn to do that. So that was a journey in itself. And then also going to Sydney and flying out of Sydney. I had never been to Sydney Airport before. So that was a whole new journey. I'd never been international, obviously at Sydney Airport before. So it was a lot of firsts and a lot of stepping out of my comfort zone and a lot of stepping up and stepping in. Also, some tests came and opportunities came to step out of it. And a few days before I left, I went and took my girls to our local pool and I jumped in the shallow end. What the hell? And I landed feet first and had this shock come through my body, and my ankle straight away started really hurting, and by the end I could hardly walk on it. Ended up on crutches because I couldn't walk on it. Thinking, oh my goodness. And this is the difference. This is the difference that it brings. So you could look at this and go, oh, this always happens. Oh my God, poor me. This has ruined my trip. I am going to pull out. I can't do this. Or, like I did, is go, oh, okay. So I've just hurt myself. This is a beautiful test to see if I'm actually going to go forward with this. This could easily be an excuse. This could easily be an out and going, sorry, too hard. I've hurt my ankle. I don't want to use crutches on my trip. I'm gonna bail out. Or what I did was go, oh, I see that. I see what you've done. I thank you for the opportunity to teach me, to give me this opportunity to bail out. But I see it. I get it. I ain't doing that. I'm going to go. I don't care if I'm going on crutches. I ended up, instead of getting those underarm crutches, I got those ones that go around your wrist. So I still had my hands free. I could still, yeah. And then I decided after a few days of doing nothing and just lying on the couch or in bed, resting my ankle and icing it, I then could put a little pressure on it. So I thought, okay, that's cool. I will use one crutch, and so then I can use that with on my side that I did my ankle, and then I could use my other free hand to carry drag my luggage in. So there was a test for me. There was a couple of tests. One, obviously, me getting it paid in full and agreeing to go and to honor my agreement with the divine and my guides, and then a test at the very last minute of hurting myself and then still going anyway. So off I went. I took a crutch with me and my luggage with me, and flew overseas to Bali, and found my way. And actually having the crutch actually kind of helped a little bit because I got fast tracked a few times, which was really cool. So with that, I then embarked on my journey of the retreat, and let me tell you, oh my goodness. So we stayed in Ubud, in a beautiful villa there, that Lisa uses for all of her retreats. And it was a beautiful, oh, oh my God, it was just a beautiful reset and relaxation and giving back to yourself and nurturing yourself. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for tuning into the part one of my retreat experience and journey. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Please stay tuned for part two for my journey in Ubud and Kuta, and what transpired and what came through, and yeah, just the amazing eye-opening transformations that came through for me, and unlocking what was within me and moving and shifting things for me. So please stay tuned, like and subscribe so then you're notified for the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. Remember that your power has always been within you. The moment you start trusting yourself, the whole game changes. If you love this episode, comment below or DM me on Instagram and let me know your biggest takeaway. Why not even screenshot it and tag me at Kira Marie Divinely Guided or Ascension School, and I will share your love. To find out what Spirit has in store for us for next week's episode, stay tuned and subscribe. Remember, keep rising, keep remembering, and watch the game change. Until next time, love you, soul family. Bye.
It's the soundtrack to my soul's heat, making me move from my head.